Okay, it says we're live. Let's hope that everything is working. I have been having some troubles with my phone today, sending some messages. So I am going to just keep my fingers crossed that everything is working. So if you are there and you are watching, give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you can hear me. Anyway, welcome. I am Michelle Solis from This Must Be Ink, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Seekonk, Massachusetts. Tonight I am doing my weekly Stampin' Sip live, um, and we are going to play with some embossing paste tonight. Okay, so let me get... okay, here we go. Let me get this going over here. Okay, so I guess it was last weekend. It seems like longer ago, but I think it was last weekend. I did a Christmas in July workshop, and we used this Frosted Forest bundle, which comes with the Frosted Forest stamp set. It comes with the Frosted Forest dies, and it also comes with, I put them aside, here we go, the Frosted Forest decorative masks. So I've been playing with them already tonight, so that's why they've got green on them. But it comes with the decorative masks as well. So this is the full bundle. And these are the two cards that we made with the at the workshop. We did this one with the little evergreen trees, and that was a little fun fold that we did. And then we did this one, which is just a regular card, but we did some embossing paste, and I did some puff paint, some snowball accents puff paint on this little tree. So, oh, I got some more trees hiding inside here. Okay, so those are the two trees, and then are the two cards, and then I did this little gift bag. Hey, Courtney, thanks for watching. So then we did this little gift bag, and I'm going to show you how to do this gift bag as well with this cute little tag. Okay, so it's going to be, it might be a little bit longer tonight. Grab your wine and just settle in. So I am drinking some Oliver Moscato tonight. So everybody just take a sip and we'll get ready to roll here. Cheers. Okay. Oh, so delicious. All right. The first card we're going to do is this one. This is just a regular A2 card base. So we've got a piece that is 5.5 by 8.5 that is scored at 4.25. So I should have all my little pieces in my envelope here. So here's my card base. And then I used, of course, I've got a piece that is 4 by 5.25 for inside, the white sentiment piece. And then I've got 4 by 5.25 in a piece of designer series paper. This is from the, oh, right out of my brain, winter, oh my goodness, hang on. You know what? I'm not going to remember what it is. 1 second. This is a paper that, whoops, was here last year and then is coming back. So I'm going to have to look it up. Is it even in here? 1 second. Oh, maybe let me look in the index. I had not anticipated forgetting the name of this paper. Winter Meadow. Okay, so this is the Winter Meadow paper. And this, it comes with these beautiful watercolor evergreen tree images on one side. But I'm using the other side tonight. I wanted it to be a little bit more neutral and a kind of a subdued background for my stamping tonight. Hi, Maria. Hey, Pam. Thank you guys for joining. Okay, so you can see I've already stamped some trees on the background paper here. And then what we're going to do is I got to stamp my little bird. I forgot my bird. So let me get my little bird in here. Now we're going to stamp off and then stamp the bird. We don't want him to be real dark. We just kind of want to be in the background there. And then what we're going to do is create our little tree. So let me find the trees I stamped. All right, so I already stamped 2 trees for us. And what we're going to do now is we're going to use the masks. I should have already colored one of these with the masks, but this goes pretty quickly. So let me get the masks out for the tree. Okay, you're going to get, I lost one. You're going to get 6 masks. 6, I think, if I could find the last one. What did I do with them? You're going to get 6 masks to create these trees. Oh, here he is. Oh, my goodness gracious. All right, this craft room is not that big. You'd think that I couldn't possibly just misplace things, but I can. Hey, Margaret, thanks for joining. Okay, so you're going to get 6 masks. You're going to have 3 to create this tree, and then 3 to create the other little evergreen trees, Christmas tree looking guys. Okay, so these, for this tree, they're numbered 1, 2, and 3. And for the other trees, they're labeled A, B, and C. So what we'll do is we're going to line up our mask on our tree. You can see my stamping wasn't so hotsy-totsy there, but that's all right. Once we get the color in here, it'll be fine. So we're going to line this up so that we just see the tree and the branches there. And I'm going to tape that mask down. And I'm also going to put some tape on my paper underneath so that doesn't move around. Okay? And then we're going to grab a blending brush and I'm going to blend this tree out in pecan pie for the branches. So we'll start with some pecan pie. And sorry if this whole thing is wiggly tonight. We're going to have a whole wiggly video. So we're going to do the branches in pecan pie. And I'm going to do 2 trees at the same time here. You get the gist of it. So we'll do that one, then we'll move over to this one. And when you're creating a bunch of cards, you can just stamp a bunch of trees in a row or on multiple pieces of paper. And just then use each stencil and move down the line and do kind of a, what do you call that? What do you call that? When you go down the line and you're putting the next piece on and the next piece on. I can't think of the name of that. Okay, so I'm going to put that aside. Then we're going to, oops, go back. I forgot to make my little marks where my mask was. So when you line this up, it's got a little notch up here on the corner. And so to help yourself, you should make a pencil mark or a pen mark right in that notch. And that helps you then line up the next mask. So that one will set aside. And we're going to go on to mask number 2, which is this one. So I'm going to line up on my notch right here. Here's where my little pencil mark is. And that should get me fairly close to where I want to be. I still want to adjust it a little bit. There we go. And that pretty much lines up exactly where my notch is. Oops. And then I'm going to again, oh, I moved. I'm again going to tape that down. And now I'm going to switch to garden green for my tree. Okay. So I've got my green brush here. And I'm going to start off, see how you get such a dark area when you first ink it up and put your brush down? So you want to do that off your image here. So I'm just doing it right onto my mask because I can go back and pick up that ink again. So then we're going to go right into the tree. And this first layer, I'm not pushing very hard with the brush. I want to do it very lightly. I want to get a nice light color on my tree. Pick up some more ink and I can keep going. And I want to get this fairly light. Then the second layer, I'm going to do darker garden green. So we'll get this. Okay. And then we're going to move over. We're going to do the same for this tree, but of course I forgot to make the notch on this one. All right, we can do it. We can line this up. There we go. Let me make my notch this time. Okay, I've done this tree in a number of different colors. You can do this, I think it's supposed to be an evergreen tree as well. I think it's supposed to be like a fir, but doesn't mean it has to be. You can do this as a deciduous tree, and you could make it red, or you could make it yellow, or you could make it orange for the fall. Really, you could just do anything with this tree. I think you've got this set has got a lot of possibilities. Okay, so that's our first layer on our tree, or on our leaves anyways. And then you've got this mask. So this third one, you can see it's really messy. Can you see that? It's because I've been using it with embossing paste. So this is the one that you can put the little accents on your tree. So you could do this with color. You could do a second layer here with a darker green, and I'm going to show you that before I show you the embossing paste. So we're going to just line this up. Just so you kind of get an idea of what the tree looks like just with color. So I'm going to go in here with more garden green and just a darker shade of garden green. Okay. So that's what it looks like when you're just doing the color. Can you guys see that? Let me pick it up a little bit. There you go. So you can see the different shades of green there. And I think that that is just beautiful. And as like a fall tree, that would be so pretty in oranges. Isn't that pretty? Okay. So that's that. But what I'm going to do now is show you that with some embossing paste. Okay. So on this tree, we used, if you can see this one, we used sparkle embossing paste. Can you see the sparkle? I don't know if you can even really see it sparkly on there. Kind of. And then this one, I did colored embossing paste with a little bit of Wink of Stella. And the difference, I'll have to take a picture of these close with my camera. The difference is the Wink of Stella It's a little more muted and it's got a little more gold in it, whereas the Sparkle Embossing Paste has a lot more shimmer and it has more silver. Actually, I think it's got like iridescent in it, so it picks up the color that's surrounding it. Okay, so that's that. And then this tree, like the one that I had on the card, has some puff paint on it. Oh, it's out of focus. There we go. This one is done with some puff paint. So tonight what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a couple things. I'm going to show you the just plain embossing. I lost the little tree that I already had made. Oh, that's this one. Okay. So this is what it looks like with plain embossing. And then I'm going to show you the puff paint. And then we're going to do some sparkle embossing and we're going to do, I'm going to show you how to add color to embossing. Okay, let me get organized here. All right, so the first thing is, let's do the puff paint. So I have done embossing paste on here, just one layer of embossing paste on here. And it's just flat, very flat surface. And then I am using, this is from 2 years ago, last year or 2 years ago, holiday catalog. So this is no longer available at Stampin' Up. You can find this on the internet. And if I can find a link for it, I will post a link. But if this ever comes back to Stampin' Up, you guys need to buy some because this is amazing. All right, so we're going to move down a little bit. And then, so it comes in this little bottle with a little tiny little end there. And then all you do is put it onto your project. So I am just going on top of the embossing paste that I have laid down here. And the reason I'm doing that is because when I have used this puff paint in the past, when I do it right on the ink, it tends to bleed. The ink tends to bleed. So I thought, well, let me try it on the embossing paste. And that worked really, really well. So I'm just going to layer that onto the paste. And it's just liquidy right now. I'm putting this on a little thick, but so it's just liquid right now. And the way that we get this to activate is with heat. So I'm going to turn on my heat gun. And hopefully you'll be able to see. I put it on a little thick, so it's going to take a little longer to puff up here. But once it starts to go, it starts to make like a little snow effect, and it gets puffy. I do want to kind of keep moving my gun because I don't want to burn my tree here. Can you see it puffing up? This bottom part just does not want to cooperate. There we go. There we go. So hopefully you guys saw that effect. So what you get is this kind of puffy three-dimensional, oh, there you can see three-dimensional look from that puff paint. So because I used it on the card, I wanted to show it to you. If you happen to have it in your stash, you should get it out and make some fluffy trees. Okay. So now let's just talk about the embossing paste. So I've got these two trees here. And I'm going to go back and find my, oh, this is it, right? Is this it? Yes, this is it. I just got it all green. Let me wash this off. 1 second. Okay, so the other thing is when you are working with the embossing paste, you are going to want, if you're going to use it for multiple things, you're going to want to keep a bin of water at your desk. Because if you've ever spackled, you'll know embossing paste is pretty much just like spackle. And when it hardens, it's very hard. So you don't want to let it harden on your thing. That's what's happened here. We've got some remnants on there that have dried and now we can't get them off, which is fine. It's not going to ruin your mask because your holes are still open, so it's fine. But in order to minimize that, you will want to wash it or put it in a bin of water right when you're finished with it. And then you can just take it out of the water, wipe it off to do your next project. Okay, so we've washed the green off and we're going to put this down on our project. And we're going to line this back up here and tape it down. Okay, and then we're going to bring in, this is the shimmery embossing. So I don't know if you can see that it's got some shimmer to it. You will use, these are some palette knives that are from Stampin' Up, but you could have palette knife, just a regular palette knife, paint palette knife will work. And you're going to just pick up some of that paste. You do not need a lot. And you're going to just smear it onto your project. And you want to just get it into all of those little holes. Just kind of pull it down, pick some up, and just smush it into those little holes. And just make sure you've covered all the holes. Okay, you can see that they're all covered. And I can just get rid of the excess here. And then I'm going to pick that up. And it is going to leave this beautiful shimmer. Oh, it stuck to the thing. Hang on. It's going to leave this beautiful shimmer on my project. Now, this particular tree has got that dark green underneath it with the white on top. Okay, so I'm going to wash this mask off real quick again. Take the tape off of here. Okay, and I'm only washing, I lost my towel. I'm only washing this because now I want to add color to this. If I was using the same embossing paste or I was using just the plain embossing paste, I would not have to wash it in between. All right, hang. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we're going to put this away. And I'm going to show you the regular embossing paste, and I'm going to show you, we're going to add some color to it. All right, so we're going to put this mask down again. This one I forgot to make the little lines where it goes. So we're just going to wing it. All right. We're going to wing it, and I can't figure it out. Oh, I have it backwards. No wonder. No wonder it won't line up. Okay, there we go. That's much better. There we go. All right, then we're we're gonna tape it down again. Ah. All right, this is the regular embossing paste. Now let me show you how to add some color. Okay, so we're gonna take a block and I'm going to add just one. Oh, this is gonna be way too dark. Let me find the green. 1 second. Okay. Spruce there, and that's gonna be way too dark. We want garden green here. So we're gonna take some garden green and we're gonna just put drop, one drop of garden green on there. Really do not need a lot because you're just doing this tiny little tree. If you're doing something big, I would say put more. Okay, you can see I've already got some green in here. All right, then we're going to pick up some regular embossing paste. This regular embossing paste is a little thicker than the shimmery stuff, and I'm going to just smoosh it into the color and mix up my color. So you can make embossing paste in any color that you want. You just use a drop of re-inker. So we're going to pick this up now and we're going to smoosh it into our tree. And if you had to, you could make more. You've got the formula. And just get it into all of the holes. There we go. And then we'll pick this up. And there you go. So you've got a nice shade on your tree, some little highlights on your tree, but this is three-dimensional highlights now with the embossing paste. Can you see it's kind of, I can't see really well, but it's got dimension to it. Okay, so I'm going to throw all these things in the water. All right, so we're not going to use that one again. So I'm just going to leave that in the water. And then later I can go back and wash them off really well. Okay, now I did want to show you this also with the Wink of Stella on it. So we'll just take some Wink down here. Can you use Yeso? I don't know. Is that gesso? Is that what you're asking me? I don't know. Can you use gesso? You can try. Let me know how it goes. All right. So what I would do with this is I would just, on top of the embossing paste, I would paint my Wink of Stella. So if you don't have shimmery embossing paste in your stash, if you only have regular embossing paste, you can still make it shimmery. Just use a little bit of Wink of Stella. So that's probably a little hard to see, but maybe you can see the shimmer as opposed to the flat colors over here, and the shimmer is over here. Can you see the difference? It's very difficult to see. Sorry about that. You'll have to take my word for it. Okay. All righty. So there we've got our trees. So then what you would do at this point, this is all dry now, and this is like super shimmery now that it's all dry. What you would do is die cut your tree to go on the front of your card. So I'm going to use the one that I already had die cut. Where's my shimmery tree? This guy. Okay, so we've got the front here, and we're going to put the rest of this together now. So we've got this piece that is going to glue on. worried about all the other stuff, and I forgot all the essentials like glue. So what do you think? Would you try embossing paste? I was kind of intimidated by it at first, but I really love it now. I think I'm just trying to find more things to use it on, and I think it'll be fun for Christmas. Okay, so I'm going to put that on here. I'm going to just trim off this little edge that's too long. And then I've got some linen thread that goes around. I've lost my linen thread that went around. How do I lose everything? Oh, here it is. Okay, let me show you a trick for this. Instead of going around twice, what I did was I just cut, what is this? 13 inches, and folded it in half. And so what I'm going to do now is just stick this onto the card just using some Scotch tape. So I'm going to bring it across the card, and then I'm going to flip this over, and I'm just going to use a piece of Scotch tape on either side. You could use also, you could certainly use, what am I trying to say? Double-sided tape, or you could use tear and tape for this. But Scotch tape works just as well. No one's going to see it. Just like that. And then what I can do is use another piece of twine to create a bow. So we'll go underneath and figure out how long we want this. And then we can just create our bow. Like that. Okay. And then I've got my little sentiment piece here. Okay, so we're going to add this to the front of our card. My husband's out in the kitchen. He's supposed to be cooking, but I can hear him. I don't know what he's doing up there. It's a Friday here. It's been one of those long weeks because camp, telling you, camp takes it out of me. There's a lot going on. Okay, here's my front of my card. Then I'm going to get my sentiment on here. And I think I heat embossed my sentiment, but tonight I'm going to just stamp it. So here's my early espresso. And my sentiments. There we go. And then we're going to just make a quick banner end for this. Everybody has their favorite way to do that, but I just like to do it fast with my snips without cutting my fingers. There we go. So that is going to go here. We just need some dimensionals to pop that up so it'll go over our linen thread. Yep. And then we're just going to get our tree on the front. So we need some dimensionals for that as well. I'll put a little one down at the bottom. Oh, no, we're not. We don't need one at the bottom because that part is already popped up. Okay. Just need them at the top. And I don't want to cover up my bird, so we've got to kind of fit him right there. There we go. And then we've just got our piece for the inside, which I don't want to run too long tonight. I still have to show you the other card and the bag. So we're going to just not stamp this. We're just going to put this in. Okay, so that is card number 1 with the embossing paste, with the shimmery and flat embossing paste, and adding color to the embossing paste. Okay, so that's that card. Moving on, let's make some trees. So this tree, you are going to get 2 sizes of this little Christmas tree. I call them a Christmas tree. It's always a Christmas tree to me, these little evergreen trees. So you're going to get 2 sizes, the larger one and the smaller one. And you will get 3 stencils for those as well. So this is, I believe, A. All right, so we're going to stamp this tree. What am I doing? Big tree. Oh, big tree. I'm going to stamp them in Pretty Peacock. And we're using these colors so he will match the paper that we're using. So we'll stamp this in Pretty Peacock. And then we're going to blend it in Lost Lagoon. So our first mask, get some tape back here. My tape is wet. All right, our first mask is A. We will line that up. And just tape that down really quick. And this time we will remember to make our little notch and get our blending brush with the Lost Lagoon. This is, I think this is my favorite color. And I have a lot of favorite colors depending on what I'm doing. But for a green, this is my favorite. It's just so soft. Okay, so we're just going to do some Lost Lagoon. And then we can pick this one up. And then we're going to use B. See, the B, it never lines up exactly. You still have to play with it. So I find that it lines up, but you still have to play with it a little bit to get it where it's supposed to go. There we go. Okay, and then I'm going to just do some more Lost Lagoon, but I'm going to go darker. Sorry that you're wiggling. There's also a glare because of the light. Sorry about that. I have to get my light situation figured out here. I need lights on the side so I don't have to have lights right over top. Not figured this out yet. All right, there we go. So we've got our little tree in Lost Lagoon. Then we need our last mask, which is this one, which is C. And we'll get that over it. I think it goes like this. There we go. And we will again get our shimmery embossing paste. I'm going to have to use a different one this time because the other one is in the water. Okay, so shimmery white. I'm just going to pick up a little bit of this. It's definitely a different consistency than the regular embossing paste. And I wonder if that's because it's got the shimmer in it. It has to be a little thinner. I don't know. Okay, let me just get it in all the holes. Just like you're spackling. Okay, close this back up. You definitely want to keep these closed so it doesn't dry out on you. Pick this up. And you've got a beautiful sparkly tree. I love it so much. All right, putting that in the water so I don't make a mess there. Okay. So you get this gorgeous sparkly tree. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. I'm definitely making Christmas cards with this. Okay. So that's what we've got there. And we're going to let that dry for a minute before we die cut him. Okay. Sit him right over there so he can dry. Okay, moving on. Where are the pieces for this card? There. This is what this card looks like. For those of you that are on Lorraine's Tuesday group, you will recognize this fun fold. We did it with her. Hi, Carol. I'm glad you could join, even if you are late. That's all right. Okay, so you're going to have a card base that is 11 by 4 1/4, and it's going to be scored at 5 1/2 and 1 1/2. So your 5 1/2, you're going to just fold it in half like that. And then this little 1 1/2 inch flap, you're going to fold back. So you're going to get a Z fold with a little flap here. Okay? Okay. So then you've got your front panel, which is 4 by 4, I think. 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. And this front panel is going to go on like this. So you're going to have an area on either side. You're going to want to put this right in the middle. To do that, we're going to add some glue just to this little panel here. Just there. And then we're going to center this over that panel and just lower it down. And then you just want to make sure that it's even along the top and the bottom, and just glue that into place. And that creates this fun fold. Okay, then we just decorate it. So I've got this piece, another piece from that Winter Meadow paper. This piece on the front. I'm going to put it this way. And I just wanted it to be kind of a snowy looking scene. We'll just put that on the middle. Then I've got these two little panels. Oh, I'm sorry, that was the 4x4 square. These little panels are 2 inches by 4 inches. And you're going to put one on this side and one on this side. So we're going to glue these down here. So let's do the one inside first. So this paper with these little trees, this is the reason I picked Pretty Peacock and Lost Lagoon, because of these images. And then your second panel is going to go on the left. So I would just bend this flap over, and we're going to line this up here. So you'll have it on either side here of your middle panel. Then on the inside, we're going to put this one. Oh, what does this measure? This is 4x4. No, that's not right. No, that's not right. One moment. That's what I cut, but that's not right. What do we need here? This is 4 by 4 1/4, right? Yep, 4 by 4 1/4. So we need 4 by 3 1/4. No, 3 3/4. Okay, 4 by 3 3/4 is what we need. That's better. Okay, oops. That's going there. And then our little sentiment piece is going to fit right in there. And for a second, I thought I had stamped on this, but I don't think I did. I think I cut out a bird. Okay. There we go. Now all that's left is to decorate. So I've got 2 little trees and my birds. Maybe. Can't pick him up. There he goes. And then we want to just die cut our large tree, if I can find the dies. One moment. By magic of television, I should have had this cut, but I did not. So 1 second. Okay, there we go. So we're going to just glue this one down on the front. And we've got one that's got some dimensionals. That will go in front of that. And then we've got some birds. One that is just going to be glued on. and one that's on a little dimensional. And then inside, we've got this little bird. And I colored this one with some Lost Lagoon. And then another little tree to decorate the inside. And I didn't want him to show when the card is closed. I wanted it to be like a surprise when they open the card. So we're going to leave it at that for you guys tonight, although I typically would add a sentiment like this one. But we'll leave it at that for tonight so we can move on to our little gift bag. Okay. So we created a little gift bag. I'm going to do that with some Christmas paper. And you're going to start with a piece that is 6 inches by 10.5 inches. And we're going to score that. So let me get all this stuff out of the way so I can get my score. Now I used the score board, the scoring board. You can of course use your trimmer. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to score at 1/2 inch. We're going to put the long side to the top, and you're going to score at 1/2 inch. When you're scoring designer series paper, you don't want to press too hard. So you're going to do 1/2 inch, 1 inch, and 1.5. Then we're doing 5.5. Oh, 5.5. Right, 5.5, 6, and 6.5. Then we're going to turn it so that the short side is at the top. Doesn't matter which side. And you're going to score at 1 inch. And that's going to become the bottom flap of your bag. This side is going to be open. Okay. So you're going to then decide which side you want to be the outside of your bag. And that is when you've got put that side facing up. And what you'll do is at these score lines, you're going to create a little gusset. So you're going to fold, second, this has got to go in. So the middle line is going to fold over, and then the 2 lines on either side, the 2 score lines on either side, are going to fold opposite. So that you will get this type of a thing. You're going to get a gusseted side that goes like that. Does that make sense? Okay, so that's one. The other one we're going to do the same way. So we'll fold over, and then the middle line is going to fold back, and then the last line is going to fold over. So you want it to open up like that. Is that right? Yes. I'll give myself a pep talk here. Yes, that's right. Okay. So then what you're going to do, we need to cut. I'm going to have to make a line for you because you're never going to be able to see this. We have to cut here. So each one of these panels, it's got 3 score lines. So we're going to cut on either side. So you have the middle score line you will not cut. You're going to cut these 2 side score lines. But you're only going to go up to that inch score line. So you're going to just cut here and here. And then we're going to cut here and here. Okay. So we're going to just cut straight up to the score line and then straight up to the score line. So you have a flap, and then you'll do the same thing here, straight up to that 1-inch score line and straight up to that 1-inch score line. So you have another flap. And then this little rectangle that's left over, we're going to just cut that off. So this should be what you've got now. You've got your gussets with this flap, and these gussets with this flap, and then these two rectangles. Okay? Okay. And just to make it a little bit easier when it's folding, you can miter these edges on your little flap. It's not the end of the world if you forget to do that, but it does make it easier. So this is what you should have. This is going to be the front of my bag. Okay. Now to glue it, very, very simple to glue it. You're going to grab your glue, and what you're going to do is you're going to fold the gussets in here and fold the gussets in here. And this flap is going to just come right over, should just fit perfectly. So again, we're going to just fold in there so you create that gusseted edge. And then you're going to put some glue right here. You can use glue or tear and tape. I just use glue for everything. And then you'll bring this flap over. So you just want it all folded down and bring that flap over. Then you've got your little bag. Then you're just going to fold in your flaps and fold over your ends. So we'll just put some glue on this panel. And fold that over. And you've got your little bag. So what I did on mine was, where did I put it? Here it is. What I did on mine was I created some holes. I just used a hole punch and I created 4 holes. Take this off so you can see. And so I just held this together and punched. So you've got your 4 holes, and then you can thread your ribbon through this way, or you could thread your ribbon through this way and create handles, right? So you could put your ribbon in here and tie a knot and go around, put your ribbon in here and tie a knot if you wanted to get handles, okay? Elizabeth from my group made some really cute paper handles out of the piece that we cut off when we went from 12 inches to 10.5. She had a little piece left over, and she used that to make some paper handles. So that's adorable as well. Okay, so now we're going to just create this little tag. I should have one already cut. There we go. And I just wanted to show you very quickly how you can use embossing paste with other masks. So I've got maybe another set of masks here. These are old, these are retired. They're called 4 square decorative masks, but you may have some masks that you've used for blending with your blending brushes. And if you do, you've got some masks that you can also use with embossing paste. So this one comes with a bunch of 4 different ones. The one I really liked was this one because I thought it kind of looked like snowflakes, and that's what created these images. here, if you can see those. Okay, so what I did was, let's just grab my shimmery embossing paste again. And let me quickly dry off this tool. It's going to be shimmery forever, probably. Okay, so what I did was just laid this onto my tag. I went at an angle. There, just like that. And again, I'm just going to use a piece of tape to hold it for me. And then just pick up some of your embossing paste. And you could even create your own masks with some dies. In the catalog, it shows you that as well. I do not know what page off the top of my head, but you just want to make sure you get it in all of the little holes. And then you're going to lift that. And you will have the embossed design on there. Put that back in the water. Close this back up. My lid doesn't want to go on. There we go. Okay, so then what you'll do is you'll get this cute little tag that has the embossing paste on it, and it's got this little raised design all throughout the tag. So we'll set that aside. That does have to dry a little bit. And I've got this little piece that I die cut. I've got embossing paste everywhere. That I die cut with the dies from this set. Let me show you the dies really quick. So the dies will do this set of trees. That's this one. And of course it cuts out your large tree and it cuts out your little Christmas trees. It also has this amazing die, which cuts out this piece that I really love, because you could do some blended colors or cut this out of designer series paper and create a really pretty colorful tree. It's got a little tree trunk that it cuts out, so you could layer this up to make another pretty tree. That's another card for another time. Okay. Love this set. I just think it's got such versatility. Okay, so we've got this pretty piece. Get all these little pieces out of there. And I'm going to measure it on here. What I would typically do is just glue it on and cut it off. But this is a little wet still. We'll just fix that. Yeah, that's better. Okay, still not perfectly dry, but I think dry enough. So we can glue this on. And we just need a little dabs of glue on here. This is one of those that you could definitely use some adhesive sheets on the back. And if you were going to do a sentiment on here, I would stamp that first. We'll just get this on here. And because it's a tag, it doesn't have, the trees don't have to fit on there all the way perfectly. These guys are hanging off a little bit. And then I would just cut these edges off. And just even this up. And then we've got our little tag that can go on our gift bag like that. Okay, so that's it for me. Oh, that was long tonight. Sorry. I hope you enjoyed watching and you enjoyed learning a little bit about embossing paste. I hope you guys are going to try some embossing paste. I think Christmas is the perfect holiday to do some embossing paste and to create some really different looking um, projects. Okay, so you guys let me know what you think about that, whether you're going to try it or not. And I hope you do, and I hope I get to see some of the projects that you do. All right. So that's it for me tonight. My husband has made dinner. I hear him. He's quiet out there now, so I think he's almost done. So I'm going to join him for dinner. Cheers, everybody. Here's to a really good weekend. Thank you so much for joining me. And yeah, have a good weekend and stay crafty, my friends. Thank you.